I've been singing all of my life. My whole family, we grew up in the church singing, but I've been singing professionally for over 40 years now.
CeCe Winans has made incredibly nerve-wracking revelations about the Winans family, leaving us completely stunned. The Winans family, a prominent gospel music dynasty, is known for their soulful harmonies and impactful contributions to contemporary gospel music.
All who've gone before us and all who will believe.
But it turns out that the world has been too busy paying attention to their achievements to notice the heartbreaking cracks in the family. However, it is finally time to hear the deeply personal truth and secrets about the Winans family from CeCe. Stay tuned as we unravel the extremely tragic details. CeCe Winans remains one of the most celebrated individuals in the gospel music industry, and her family, the Winans family, is also at the very forefront of this industry. However, in recent times, extremely shocking rumors about CeCe and her family members have been flying around, raising questions and concerns about the current state of the legendary family. What's really going on with them personally and professionally? Should we be worried? Keep watching to find out. Could this be true? And which duo in this large family are fans worried about? Keep watching. You'll be shocked. A possible rift. The Winans family is known and celebrated as a strong force in the gospel music terrain. The family first rose to fame with the Winans, a quartet comprising brothers Marvin, Carvin, Michael, and Ronald. Their debut album, Introducing the Winans, released in 1981, and produced by Andre Crouch, set a new standard in gospel music, blending traditional sounds with modern rhythm and blues influences. However, several family duos also emerged, including BB and CeCe Winans, who were still in high school when their brothers launched the Winans. BB and CeCe's iconic collaborations began in the 1980s and catapulted them to fame, transcending traditional gospel music boundaries. The duo debuted as a part of the Christian television program The PTL Club, where their music was showcased to a broad audience. They eventually left the PTL Singers in 1987 to pursue a musical career, and that same year, Sparrow Records offered them a gospel recording contract. Their mainstream debut release was the self-titled album BB and CeCe Winans, and it catapulted them into stardom. The album topped several rhythm and blues and inspirational charts and generated Grammy nominations as well as Dove and Stellar awards. CeCe also earned a Grammy for Best Soul Gospel Performance Female for the song For Always. However, this collaboration did not last for too long, as in 1995, they officially parted ways to work on their solo careers and other areas of interest. As you can imagine, this led to the start of a series of rumors about a possible rift between them. The speculation arose due to their decision to part ways professionally after the release of Relationships, released in 1994. Fans and media speculated whether personal or creative differences had driven the decision. However, both BB and CeCe consistently denied rumors of a fallout. In interviews, they explained that their decision to focus on solo careers was a mutual and amicable choice because they sought to explore their individual artistic expressions while still supporting each other's endeavors. BB, in particular, ventured into more contemporary and secular music with albums like BB Winans and Love and Freedom. While CeCe, on the other hand, delved deeper into gospel music, releasing critically acclaimed albums such as Alone in His Presence and Throne Room. But this isn't the first time the Winans family members have been faced with serious and devastating health challenges and experiences. Their brother, Ronald, the second eldest of the Winans siblings, passed away under very tragic circumstances, and CeCe has taken a deep dive into personal details of what really happened to Ronald. Loss in the Winans family. Ronald Winans was known for his soulful voice and commitment to spreading the gospel through music. Along with his brothers Marvin, Carvin, and Michael, Ronald was part of the Winans, a Grammy-winning group that revolutionized gospel music with their contemporary sound. However, in the 1980s, the Winans siblings began to launch their solo careers, and Ronald established the Ron Winans Family and Friends Choir, which released its first album in 1987 and several other powerful albums in the coming years. Unfortunately, While achieving these feats and blessing the world with his gifts, behind the cameras, Ronald was busy fighting for his life. In 1997, after releasing 4 albums and touring widely with his choir, Winans suffered terrible health problems. It started out as a persistent malaise that was later misdiagnosed as influenza, asthma, and bronchitis. It was when he suffered a severe heart attack due to an aortic tear, a silent killer that proves fatal for many, that they realized the cause of his persistent sickness. Ronald was admitted into the University of Michigan Hospital in Ann Arbor. It got so bad at some point that his surgeon, Professor Michael Deeb, told the Winans family, who were gathered around their brother to say their goodbyes due to how severe and complicated his issues were. However, instead of wailing and crying, the family asked if they could pray instead, saying, "Well, can we pray for you? And you go back in and give it another try?" They spoke in tongues, and their father laid his hands on the surgeon's head, prayed, and said, "You go back and take my son off the heart-lung machine. He will live." Surprisingly, shortly after the family began praying, the doctors went back to the operating room and revived Ronald. This event shocked those who witnessed it, especially the surgeon, who later revealed that the experience had brought some spiritualism to his practice. Speaking about this life-changing moment while encouraging others, Cece said, "So, we lost him, but the God that specializes in the impossible brought him back. And so, if God can raise the dead, He can handle anything that we're going through, anything that you've been through." Thankfully, Ronald recovered, and after this trying period, he devoted himself to preaching and speaking about his experiences. In 2002, he joined the Winans on the road for their Together We Stand tour, the first time he had performed with his brothers in over a decade. However, after the surgery, Ronald continued to struggle with health problems. He frequently dealt with complications related to his cardiovascular system, which required constant medical attention and lifestyle adjustments. His health issues were not limited to his heart. Over time, he also began to experience kidney failure, which significantly weakened his body. Unfortunately, tragedy struck once more when Ronald was hospitalized again in the summer of 2005 after his heart problems resurfaced. Unfortunately, this time around, he never recovered. He passed away on June 17, 2005, at the age of 48. Ronald's death sent shockwaves through the gospel music community. The news elicited an outpouring of grief and tributes from fans, fellow artists, and faith leaders worldwide. His death had a tremendous impact on the Winans family, who were completely shaken by his untimely passing. Reflecting on Ronald's death, Cece revealed that she learned a lifelong lesson that completely changed her life through this tragic event. In an interview, she said, "We were all around the bed in the hospital room, and when Ronald took his last breath, my father's hands went up, and he just began to worship God. And his first words were, 'Lord, I thank you for the years you gave us, Ronald. I thank you.' I looked at him and I was just like, that's your first response? But seeing how God carried my parents through that, losing a child, I understood the power of praise. So when I'm going through a rough time, a challenging time, I know even if I'm crying with my hands lifted up, and it gives me strength because worship always puts your focus on the greatness of God. Even when life hits us, I know to cry out to Him. And that's why I think I'm so passionate about worship, because I understand it as a gift. It is a weapon. But that's not all she learned from Ronald's tragic death. Cece has also spoken candidly about how the family had to lean completely on their faith during the difficult period following his death. In various interviews, she has described the sense of peace and comfort they experienced, attributing it to their unshakable belief in God's plan. She has emphasized that Ronald's strong faith and his life of service to the Lord were a source of inspiration, even in the midst of their sorrow. Sadly, the Winans family was not out of the woods yet. In October 2008, just 3 years after Ronald's death, the patriarch of the family, Pop Winans, suffered a series of debilitating strokes and a massive heart attack, which left him in critical condition. The strokes affected his mobility and speech, and his condition placed a tremendous strain on his family, who had always looked to him as a source of strength and wisdom. His wife, Dolores Winans, along with their children, rallied around him during this difficult period, offering their full support and care. In January 2009, Pop was moved from Detroit to the Alive Hospice in Nashville, Tennessee, to be closer to some of his children. However, his health only worsened over the next few months. And on Wednesday, April 18, 2009, at around 4 p.m., Pop died at the age of 74. He was survived by his wife of 55 years, 9 children, 23 grandchildren, and several great-grandchildren. Disclosing the heartbreaking news during an episode of TBN's Praise, Cece said, "My father has gone on to be with the Lord. My mom and dad were strong believers. My mom is still with me, and I'm so grateful for them. I'm so grateful for the way they raised us in the church. But my father was one to praise God. He loved to worship Him in song. Wherever he is in heaven, let's just say it like this: he's making a lot of noise. He's not quiet." She continued by saying, "As a kid sometimes, I would wake up in the middle of the night and hear him just singing and anointing our heads with oil and praising God and worshiping God. And so, as a kid, I thought, I don't know, he's kind of crazy." But as you read the scriptures about praise and worship and how God inhabits the praises of His people, I caught on to that. Pop's death completely devastated the Winans family and was a tremendous loss to the gospel music community. As a deeply respected and beloved figure, his death was met with an outpouring of grief and tributes from fans, fellow gospel artists, and faith leaders across the globe. Despite the many challenges and losses the Winans family has faced, they have continued to stand together in love, peace, and harmony. Well, the rumors of a rift were definitively quashed when BB and Cece reunited in 2009 for the album Still. The project, released after a 15-year hiatus, was a celebration of their enduring bond as siblings and musical partners. The album included the hit single Close to You, which won a Grammy Award for Best Gospel Performance. Speaking to Essence on what brought them back together, Cece said, "For the last 3 years, we said we had to do this. We started to gather some songs and a wish list of producers. It took a 2.5-year process. We started on that journey, and now it's done." Cece has also spoken about the tremendous impact that their collaboration has had on their family and the gospel music industry. She said, "It's kind of funny that when we came on the scene, it was as if we were the first contemporary success story in mainstream. We stood on the shoulders of our brothers, the Clark sisters, and Andre Crouch before us. And just like anyone, when you open a door, you pray and wish others are ready and eager to come through those doors." BB, on his part, revealed that they reunited with a message. "We still have the same vision, and that is to touch every life with hope, with God's love, with music that is uplifting." There's 15 years of journey that Cece and I have endured, some ups and some downs. The loss of our brother, the loss of our father. Through loss, we can tell others, hey, you can make it. Today, at the age of 60, Cece continues to love a fulfilling and rewarding life. What's going on with the singer right now, and what's she up to? Cece's legacy today. Cece Winans continues to thrive as an artist, author, minister, and mentor. With 15 Grammy Awards, Cece is the most awarded female gospel artist in history. She has also earned numerous Dove and Stellar awards. Cece continues to perform. She recently announced her 2025 tour, titled More Than This, a journey of faith, worship, and unforgettable music. In addition to her music, Cece is deeply invested in ministry. Alongside her husband, Alvin Love II, she serves as a co-pastor at Nashville Life Church, a thriving congregation in Tennessee. Through this ministry, she mentors younger generations, helping them develop their faith and navigate life's challenges. She has also launched mentorship initiatives aimed at aspiring gospel artists. Despite the many challenges Cece has had to deal with both personally and professionally, she has managed to remain optimistic, living each day as it comes. Speaking to Essence on how the challenges and loss of her father and brother have affected her, she said, It makes you appreciate. It definitely teaches you to appreciate and not take each other for granted because you don't know what tomorrow holds. I mean, one day Dad was doing very well and the next day he was in the hospital. You really do have to live like today is the last day, and it's not promised, to tell those who you love that you love them. Marvin's health challenges. Fans and the media have been on the lookout for the family, especially after Cece's older brother, Pastor Marvin Winans, tragically collapsed unexpectedly while leading a church service in Toledo, Ohio. The 66-year-old pastor of Perfecting Faith Church sent shockwaves throughout the media, leaving fans extremely worried and anxious about the state of his health. Video footage from the tragic incident shows Marvin dressed in a blue suit in front of sanctuary flowers, appearing to struggle. From the onset, his shoulders were slumped, and he spoke with shortened breaths and phrases, much unlike his usual sermons. Suddenly he lost consciousness, collapsing to the ground while still addressing the congregation. Later that week, in a Facebook Live update, Marvin attributed the incident to dehydration, stating, "The doctor thinks it might have been dehydration. Often we work ourselves too much, and that seems to have been the problem." He also expressed gratitude for the outpouring of support he received, saying, "I appreciate all of the prayers and all of the support. It is wonderful to know that people care about you and they love you." Although he eventually revealed that the scary incident was nothing more than a health scare and that he was in good health, fans are still not satisfied with the update. This is mostly because just a few months back, in mid-2024, Marvin Winans disclosed to his congregation at Perfecting Church in Detroit that he had been diagnosed with bladder cancer. The announcement disclosed that his symptoms suddenly started around 2 years ago when light began to hurt his eyes and he noticed blood in his urine. This led to a series of medical evaluations and the discovery of cancer in his bladder. Marvin told his church members that he didn't believe the doctor when he was told what needed to be done after his diagnosis. He had to undergo an immunotherapy treatment called Bacillus calmette-guerin for a few weeks. Sadly, doctors did another round of tests, and they found tumors inside of him. Although they prescribed 6 more weeks of intense treatment, Marvin went along with the treatment but revealed to his church that he was actually counting on his faith and prayer to get him through. With such an unfortunate health history, was that collapse just a coincidence? Or was it a pointer to more serious and devastating problems for the Winans family? Well, Cece has finally broken her silence on this matter, but that's not all she has revealed. Apparently, there are several other shocking issues going on in the Winans family that we do not know about. Although Marvin turned his tragic cancer diagnosis revelation into a testimony, revealing that after further checks and treatments, he was finally cancer-free, there are speculations. Is the cancer really gone, or is this another attempt to hide his battles just to edify his church? While delivering the powerful testimony to the congregation, he said, "The first time they could see the cancer, this time when they went in, the doctor said, 'Okay, there's nothing there. Doubt nothing and have confidence in what God is doing in our midst.'" He also thanked the church community for their prayers and support and shared that he was very determined to fight the illness with both medical treatment and spiritual conviction. Marvin didn't forget to address the rumors flying around the media concerning his health. Taking a jab at the rumor peddlers, he said, "The enemy wants to make us afraid of our future. You can tell all of the folks on YouTube trying to kill me off that I ain't going nowhere." Thankfully, the gospel community and fans worldwide have rallied around Marvin Winans during his health struggles. Social media platforms have been flooded with messages of encouragement and prayers. Fellow gospel artists, including his family members, have expressed their solidarity and support for the pastor. Cece, in particular, has also rallied behind her beloved brother and fellow gospel music artist, expressing support for him and his faith. What do you think about Cece's revelations about her family? Tell us in the comments section below. Don't forget to click on the next video on your screen, like this video, and subscribe to our channel for more updates.